Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiriye Nashtupraishu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhakta Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtike. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, Brahma's Prayers to Lord Krishna. Text number 8 onwards. Tatte anukampam susamikhyamano bhunjane vatma kritam vipakam ridvag vapurvir vidhan namaste jivet yumukti pade sadaiva. So this shloka Prabhupada has quoted it many times in his purports. Such an important shloka. So Brahmaji is praying to the Lord. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisances with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. So he goes through his sufferings of the reactions of the past misdeeds, but still he is so grateful to you. He keeps on offering you respectful obeisances with his heart, words, and body. He's just eligible for liberation, going back to Godhead. Srila Sridhar Swami explains in his commentary that just as a legitimate son has to simply remain alive to gain an inheritance from his father, one who simply remains alive in Krishna consciousness, following the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, automatically becomes eligible to receive the mercy of the personality of Godhead. In other words, he will be promoted to the kingdom of God. So all we have to do is simply remain alive in Krishna consciousness, obviously. Then we have the rightful claim for our father's property. He might look like a little boy, just little baby behind in the picture, but he's a father of every living entity. The word Susamikshimana indicates that a devotee earnestly awaits the mercy of the Supreme Lord, even while suffering the painful effects of previous sinful activities. Lord Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita that a devotee who fully surrenders unto it is no longer liable to suffer the reactions of his previous karma. But then why do devotees suffer? However, because in his mind a devotee may still maintain the remnants of his previous sinful mentality, the Lord removes the last vestiges of the enjoined spirit by giving his devotee punishments that may sometimes resemble sinful reactions. The purpose of the entire creation of God is to rectify the living entity's tendency to enjoy without the Lord, and therefore the particular punishment given for his sinful activity is specifically designed to curtail the mentality that produced the activity. So here, the reaction to the sinful activity is not just okay. It's a reaction. No, in case of a devotee, the punishment is given to curtail the mentality, to remove the last vestiges, or to remove the propensity to commit that sin again. That's the idea. Although a devotee has surrendered to the Lord's devotion service until he is completely perfect in Krishna consciousness, he may maintain a slight inclination to enjoy the false happiness of this world. The Lord therefore creates a particular situation to eradicate this remaining enjoying spirit. This unhappiness suffered by a sincere devotee is not technically a karmic reaction. It's rather the Lord's special mercy for inducing his devotee to completely let go of the material world and return home back to Godhead. So this rectification of cleansing, the purification process, this is what defines our Shraddha. how much Shraddha we have. Many times devotees leave. Nah, this is too much. I can't handle it. But what is there to leave? Is material world easy to handle? Is the material miseries easy to handle, easy to go through? No. Terrible. And what if we have to go through it every life, life after life after life after life? At least now we know that we have to go through it life after life. Why? Just little suffering or little, not even suffering, it's just a purification process in the spiritual path. And that's it. Go back, come back to Godhead. No more suffering. See the devotees in Ukraine, Russia. Suffering is there. They're going through a lot. But it's just Krishna's way of completely purifying them. So they can take shelter of Krishna. They, not just everybody. We all should learn from that. Just take shelter of lotus feet of Krishna. And this is what the word says. And still with his Hridha Vaga Vapurvir, respectful obeisance, he still offers respectful obeisance with no grudges, with her heart, words, and body. And then Krishna becomes grateful to that devotee. Yes, I have to take him back. A sincere devotee earnestly desires to go back to the Lord's abode. Therefore, he willingly accepts the Lord's merciful punishment and continues offering respects and obeisances to the Lord with his heart, words, and body. Such a bona fide servant of the Lord, considering all hardship a small price to pay for gaining the personal association of the Lord, certainly becomes a legitimate son of God, as indicated here by the words Dai Bhag. Just as one cannot approach the sun without becoming fire, one cannot approach the Supreme Pure Lord Krishna without undergoing a rigid purificatory process, which may appear like suffering, but which is in fact a curative treatment administered by the personal hand of the Lord, not by Maya, not by nature, nobody else, because a devotee comes under the jurisdiction of Krishna directly. So Krishna orchestrates everything in the life of a devotee. Now it depends upon us how much we are surrendered. And this is his way of making us more surrendered. That's all. So whenever any negative things, negative in our heart, because nothing is negative from Krishna's perspective, whenever it happens, just thank Krishna, give me more. And because this is ultimately for our benefit. Ultimately, it's for our benefit. Of course, we are not like Queen Kunti when she prayed in the first canto we studied. Give us more, give me more troubles, give me more. Because whenever the troubles are there, whenever the miseries are there, then you're always with us. And now when the miseries are over, you're leaving us. So give us more miseries. We are not that surrendered to ask Krishna for more miseries, but we ask for more service and more association of devotees, more opportunity to chant. Give us some taste for your holy name so that we can always be with you. That's all, Krishna. Ashesh me anaryam ananta adhyay paratmani tvayapi mayi mayini mayam vitate kshitum atma vaibhavam hi aham kiyanach me var chiragno ivar chir agno. My Lord, just see my uncivilized impudence. To test your power, I try to extend my illusory potency to cover you, the unlimited and primeval supersoul, who bewilder even the masters of illusion. What am I compared to you? I'm just like a small spark in the presence of a great fire. So Brahmaji is coming to his real understanding. Why did I try to test you? A great fire produces many sparks, which are insignificant in comparison to it. Indeed, if one of the small sparks were to try to burn the original fire, the attempt would be simply ludicrous. Similarly, even the creator of the entire universe, Lord Brahma, is an insignificant spark of the potency of God, and therefore Brahma's attempt to bewilder the Supreme Lord was certainly ludicrous. He is a master of all illusion, Krishna. Who can bewilder him? Brahma here addresses Lord Krishna as Isha, which indicates that Krishna is not only the supreme master of everyone, but is also specifically the master of Brahma, who creates the universe directly under the guidance of the Lord, and who indeed is born directly from the Lord's own body. Brahma felt ashamed of his impudent attempt at deluding Lord Krishna, and he was therefore perfectly willing to be punished or forgiven by the Lord, according to his decision. If Lord Krishna does not mercifully punish his devotees, when they act improperly, their foolishness will simply increase and gradually completely overwhelm their devotional sentiments. Therefore, Lord Krishna kindly disciplines his devotees and maintains them on the progressive path back home, back to Godhead. See, he disciplines and maintains them also. That's his mercy. It's not that he is personally going to come and show us. He is there personally. But whether he manifests or not, we have to just have faith in him and understand he is there. And he does take care. While at the same time, he disciplines his devotees. That's a nice word used here, discipline, not punishes his devotees. Atha kshamasva achitta me rajo bhuvo yajanatas tattvat prithagishamaninaha ajavale pandha tamo andha chakshusha esho anukampayo mai nath vaniti. Therefore, O infallible Lord, kindly excuse my offenses. I have taken birth in the mode of passion and am therefore simply foolish, presuming myself a controller, independent of your lordship. My eyes are blinded by the darkness of ignorance, which causes me to think of myself as an unborn creator of the universe. But please consider that I am your servant and therefore worthy of your compassion. See, this is a mood of a devotee. I am simply foolish and I am in darkness of ignorance. I'm nobody. I'm just your servant and I need your compassion. In his commentary, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that Brahma wanted to present the following argument to the Lord. My dear Lord, because I have acted so badly, I certainly deserve to be punished. On the other hand, because I am so ignorant, you should consider me an innocent fool and be merciful to me. Thus, although I deserve both punishment and forgiveness, I humbly beg you to exercise tolerance in this matter and simply forgive me and show me your mercy. This is how devotees pray. I'm fool, I'm nonsense, I'm nothing. I'm your servant. You simply forgive me. You take care of me. The words Nathva Niti indicate that Lord Brahma wanted to humbly remind Lord Krishna that he was, after all, Brahma's father and master and should therefore forgive the unfortunate transgressions of his humble servant. Every conditioned soul, whether he be Lord Brahma or an insignificant ant, falsely identifies himself, the material world, and in this way forgets his eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Brahma, because of his prestigious position as the cosmic creator, also tends to identify himself as the Lord of this world, and thus he sometimes forgets his position as an insignificant servant of the Supreme Lord. Now, by Lord Krishna's mercy, this false identification is being rectified. And Lord Brahma is remembering his constitutional position as the eternal servant of God. And now, what is Krishna going to do? Of course, he has to forgive him. He'll try to discipline him, as I explained yesterday, that in Gaur Leela he comes as Haridas Thakur. But Haridas Thakur, such a pure devotee, he is given the post of Namacharya by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And same mood is shown by Lord Shiva also many times. Whenever there is Shivji, he gives boons to some demon, and so demon will ask, okay, you have to come and fight on my behalf against Vishnu or Krishna. And then I think it was one, they fought for Banasur. And Krishna cut off all the hands given by Lord Shiva except 2 hands of Banasur. And then Sudarshan Chakra went after Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva just paid obeisances. I cannot win, and obviously you forgive me. And Krishna said, why do you give such kind of benedictions to your devotees? And why did you try to fight with me? And he says, you do everything, whatever you want. You made me fight against you, so it's all your fault. I'm just a fool. I just live in crematorium. I dance here and there. You made me do whatever you want, so I'm not at fault. You just forgive me. I'm just a fool servant. And Krishna like, what to do now? These are his devotees and special relationship with Krishna. Kvaham tamam adham kharag nirvabhu samveshtitand gata sapta vitastikaya kedrig vidha viganitand paranucharya vatavadharoma vivrasya chate mahitvam. What am I, a small creature measuring 7 spans of my own hand? I'm enclosed in a part-like universe composed of material nature, the total material energy, false ego, ether, air, fire, water, and earth. And what's your glory? Unlimited universes pass through the pores of your body just as particles of dust pass through the openings of a screened window. That's a difference. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 5, Prabhupada gives the following purport for this verse. When Lord Brahma, after having stolen all Krishna's calves and cowherd boys, returned and saw that the calves and boys were still roaming with Krishna, he offered this prayer in his defeat. A conditioned soul, even one so great as Brahma, who manages the affairs of the entire universe, cannot compare to the personality of Godhead. For he can produce numberless universes simply by the spiritual rays emanating from the pores of his body. Material scientists should take lessons from the utterances of Shri Brahma regarding our insignificance in comparison with God. In these prayers of Brahma, there is much to learn for those who are falsely puffed up by the accumulation of power. So in this material world, who is more powerful than Lord Brahma? Nobody. Of course, Lord Vishnu is, but Lord Vishnu is always in the spiritual world. Although as Kshirodaksha Vishnu is there, but that's considered part of spiritual world. So in material world, Lord Brahma is a topmost living entity. And he is saying, who am I in front of you? Nothing. And here we get a little power, little position, little opulence, and we think we are somebody great. So we have to learn from this incident of Brahma, how he is praying to the Lord. In Krishna chapter 14, Srila Prabhupada Father comments on this verse. Lord Brahma realized his actual position. He is certainly the supreme teacher of this universe, in charge of the production of material nature, consisting of the complete material energy, false ego, sky, air, fire, earth, water. Such a universe may be gigantic, but it can be measured, just as we measure our body as 7 spans, 7 measurements of our hand. Generally, everyone's personal body measurement is calculated to be 7 spans of his hand. This particular universe may appear to be very gigantic body, but it's nothing but the measurement of 7 spans of hands of Lord Brahma. Aside from this universe, there are unlimited other universes outside the jurisdiction of this particular Lord Brahma. So there are innumerable universes, and every universe has a Lord Brahma. In fact, it is said that our universe, this particular universe that we are in, is the smallest universe, because Brahmaji in this universe has only 4 heads. Other universes, Brahma has 16, 64, 32, 128, 256, sometimes millions of heads also on Brahma. Because the universes are so big, he needs so many heads to supervise everything that's going on in the universe. So somebody might say, how can a person has millions of heads? Well, Brahmaji can have. Brahmaji here has 4 heads. Ravan had 10 heads. So that's the beauty of the opulence of Krishna. There could be a universe where Brahma could have millions of heads. It's beyond our thinking power. Aside from this universe, there are unlimited other universes outside the jurisdiction of this particular Lord Brahma. Just as innumerable, infinitesimal atomic fragments pass through the holes of his screened window, so millions and trillions of universes in their seedling form are coming out from the bodily pores of Mahavishnu. And that Mahavishnu is but a part of the plenary expansion of Krishna. That Mahavishnu is not even original Krishna. It's a plenary expansion of Krishna. Under these circumstances, although Lord Brahma is a supreme creator, a supreme creature within this universe, what's his importance in presence of Lord Krishna? Nothing. So if Brahmaji is nothing, who are we? We don't even really exist. We can't even claim that we exist. This is our position. Utkhepanam garbhagatasya padyo kim kalpate matur adhokshajagase kim asti nasti vyapadesh bhushitam tvasti kukshe kiyad api anantaha. O Lord Adhokshaja, does a mother take offense when the child within her womb kicks with his legs? And is there anything in existence, whether designated by various philosophers as real or as unreal, that is actually outside your abdomen? Srila Prabhupada comments as follows on this verse in Krishna book. Lord Brahma therefore compared himself to a little child within the womb of his mother. If the child within the womb plays with his hands and legs and while playing touches the body of the mother, is a mother offended with the child? No, of course she isn't. Similarly, Lord Brahma may be a very great personality, and yet not only Brahma, but everything that is existing within the womb of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So everything is existing within his womb, in the sense that all the universes come from his body and nothing is beyond him. The Lord's energy is all pervading. There is no place in the creation where it is not acting. Since everything is existing within the energy of the Lord, the Brahma of this universe, or the Brahmas of many other millions and trillions of universes, are existing within the energy of the Lord. Therefore, the Lord is considered to be the mother. And everything existing within the womb of the mother is considered to be the child. And the good mother is never offended with the child, even if it touches the body of the mother by kicking his legs. In fact, when the ladies are pregnant and the baby is kicking, then they get very excited. So then it shows the baby is alive and is growing. So this is what Brahmaji is saying. I'm just a little child within your womb, and if I, by mistake, I kicked you with my legs, please forgive me for that. Jagatrayanto dati samplavode Narayanasya nabhila nala Vinirgato jastveti vangna vaimrisha Kintvishwar tvanna vinirgato asmi. My dear Lord, it is said that when the three planetary systems are merged into the water at the time of dissolution, your plenary portion, Narayan, lies down on the water. Gradually, a lotus flower grows from his navel, and Brahma takes birth upon that lotus flower. Certainly, these words are not false. Thus, am I not born from you? So I am just your little baby. Although every living being is a child of God, Lord Brahma here makes a special claim because he takes birth on a lotus flower that emanates from the navel of Narayana, the personality of Godhead. Ultimately, all living beings are equally expansions of the transcendental body of the Supreme Lord. But Brahma has an intimate relationship with the Lord because of the activities of universal creation. And so he uses the prefix vi in the word, viniragata, to beg the Lord's special mercy. So vi means vishesh. Nirgata means give me the special mercy because I'm special. I'm born from the lotus flower that comes from your navel. Lord Brahma is called Aja because he is not born from any mother, but rather emanates directly from the body of the Lord. As Srila Prabhupada states in Krishna book, it is naturally concluded that the mother of Brahma is Narayan. On these grounds, Lord Brahma is requesting special forgiveness for his offenses. And in the painting done by devotees, they showed Lord Brahma with 4 heads praying to the Lord, but they didn't show him with white flowing beard. So generally painters say, oh, because he is the oldest person in the universe, he's the first person of the universe, he must be very old with a long flowing beard. But why? Why he has to have the beard to show that he is an old person? So he doesn't keep a beard actually. So when devotees, when Prabhupada guided them properly and they drew it properly, they didn't show beard on Lord Brahma's face, although he is the oldest person in the universe. Similarly, God, Krishna, he is the oldest person. Anadi Radha Govinda, he is the Adi of everybody, means he is the source of everything, everybody, every person. But he's not old. Not old in the sense, body doesn't get old. His body is Satchitananda, not made of earth, water, fire, air, ether, just like we have. That's why when we get old, our hair turns gray, we get wrinkly, and other diseases and all of the problems happen, but not with Krishna. And similarly, not with the demigods. They don't get old like just we do. So Brahmaji, although he's the oldest person, but he's praying to the Lord, I am here. And Lord Krishna is at this pastime, he is what, 4 or 5 years old, not older than that. He did not increase his size either. Same little baby. And when such a mature person is praying to him, oh, I'm like your baby. It sounds funny, but he understood Krishna's position. Narayana-stvam nahi sarva dehinam atmasya thi shakil lok sakshi Narayano Angam Narabhujalayana Tachapi Satyam Natveva Maya. Are you not the original Narayan or Supreme Controller, since you are the soul of every embodied being and the eternal witness of all created realities? Indeed, Lord Narayan is your expansion, and he is called Narayan because he is a generating source of primeval water of the universe. So he is called Narayan because he is a generating source of the primeval water or the original water of the universe. That's why he's called Narayan. He is real, not a product of your illusory Maya. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 2, text 30, Srila Prabhupada comments on this verse as follows. This statement was spoken by Lord Brahma in his prayers to Lord Krishna after Lord defeated him by displaying his mystic powers. Brahma had tried to test Lord Krishna to see if he was really the Supreme Personality of Godhead, playing as a cowherd boy. Brahma stole all the other boys and the cows from the pasturing grounds. But when he returned to the pastures, he saw that all the boys and cows were still there, for Lord Krishna had created them all again. When Brahma saw this mystic power of Lord Krishna, he admitted defeat and offered prayers to the Lord, addressing him as a proprietor and seer of everything in the creation, and as a super soul who's within each and every living entity and is dear to all. Lord Krishna is Narayan, the father of Brahma, because Lord Krishna's plenary expansion, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, after placing himself on the Garbha ocean, created Brahma from his own body. Mahavishnu in the causal ocean and Kshirodaksha Vishnu, the super soul in everyone's heart, are also transcendental expansions of the supreme truth. They all come from Krishna. In his commentary on this verse, Srila Sanatana Goswami has elaborately explained the expansion of Vishnu and Narayan, incarnations from the original form of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. The essence is that although Lord Brahma was born from Lord Narayan, Brahma now understands that Narayan himself is a mere expansion of the original personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. And this is the position of Krishna. Tatte jalastham tav sajjagat vapuhu kimmena drishtam bhagwan tadeva kim va sudrishtam hridi me tadeva kim no sapadeva punar vyadarshi. My dear Lord, if your transcendental body, which shelters the entire universe, is actually lying upon the water, then why were you not seen by me when I searched for you? And why, though I could not envision you properly within my heart, did you then suddenly reveal yourself? So this we have read in the second canto of Bhagavatam. When Brahmaji appeared on that lotus flower, he could not understand what he was supposed to do, what's his source, why is he here? So he went down in the stem of that lotus flower. He approached all the way to the navel of the Lord, but still he could not understand. He came back up. And then he heard tapa, do some tapasya. And then he got the instructions, what he's supposed to do. Lord Brahma here refers to his experience at the dawn of cosmic creation. As described in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma took birth on the seat of a giant lotus whose stem emanated from the navel of Narayan, or Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Brahma was bewildered as to his whereabouts, function, and identity, and therefore he tried to trace out the source of the lotus stem, searching for clear information. Unable to find the personality of Godhead, he returned to his seat and engaged in severe austerities, having been ordered to do so by the transcendental voice of the Lord, who could be heard but not seen. After long meditation, Brahma saw the Lord, but then again lost sight of him. Thus, Brahma concludes that the transcendental body of the personality of Godhead is not material, but rather an eternal spiritual form endowed with inconceivable mystic potencies. In other words, Lord Brahma should not have challenged this personality of Godhead, the Lord of all mystic power. But he had already challenged, and now he is repenting for what he did. Atreva Maya Dhamanavatāre yasya prapanchasya bahisfutasya krishnasya chantara jatre jananya maya tvameva prakati kritam te. My dear Lord, in this incarnation, you have proved that you are the supreme controller of Maya. Although you are now within this universe, the whole universe creation is within your transcendental body. A fact you demonstrated by exhibiting the universe within your abdomen before your mother, Yashoda. So Brahmaji somehow knew this pastime of the Lord. Lord Brahma here describes the inconceivable spiritual potency of the Lord. We may find a part within a house, but we can hardly expect to find the house within the same part. By the Lord's spiritual potency, however, he can appear within this universe and simultaneously exhibit all the universes within his body. How to understand this? We cannot. Krishna is within this universe, performing his pastimes, and all the universes are within his body. How to understand? Cannot. One may argue that since the universe is seen by Mother Yashoda within Lord Krishna's abdomen or within the Lord's body, they are different from the illusory material universes manifest externally. Here, Lord Brahma refutes that argument, however. Lord Krishna is Maya Dhaman, the supreme controller of illusion. By the Lord's own supreme mystic potency, he can bewilder even illusion herself. And thus the Lord actually exhibited all the material universes within his body. This is Mayatvam, the supreme bewildering potency of the personality of Godhead. Who can show this kind of pastimes? Nobody can. Nobody did, except Krishna. Yasya kuksha vidam sarvam satmam bhati yatha tatha tattvayapihe tatsarvam kimidam mayaya vina. Just as this entire universe, including you, was exhibited within your abdomen, so it is now manifested here externally in the same exact form. How could such things happen unless arranged by your inconceivable energy? Srila Prabhupada comments on this verse in Krishna book. Lord Brahma stressed herein that without accepting the inconceivable energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot explain things as they are. And this is where scholars, they get confused. We're trying to understand by their own little bitty material intelligence or their brain power. Cannot understand. So that's when Prabhupada says, without accepting the inconceivable energy of Lord, one cannot explain things. Then that's when they say, oh, you bhaktas, you don't know anything. You just put faith in everything. But how else to understand this thing? Cannot. Adya tvadrite asya kim mam nate mayatvam adarshitam eko asi prathamam tato braj suhridvatsa samastapi tavanto asi chaturbhujastad akhila sakam mayo pasitasa tavanteva jagante bhustad tadamitam brahmad vayam shishyate. Have you not shown me today that both you yourself and everything within this creation are manifestations of your inconceivable potency? First you appeared alone, and then you manifested yourself as all of Vrindavan's calves and cowherd boys, your friends. Next you appeared as an equal number of 400 Vishnu forms, who were worshipped by all living beings, including me. And after that, you appeared as an equal number of complete universes. Equal number of, all these boys and calves, you appeared as complete universes. Finally, you have now returned to your unlimited form as the supreme absolute truth, one without a second. And in what form? Little Krishna, holding food in his left hand, rice and yogurt, and eating with his right hand. How is it possible? As stated in the Vedic literature, Sarvam Khalo Idam Brahma. Everything that exists is an expansion of the Supreme Personality of God. Thus, everything is ultimately part and parcel of the Lord's spiritual existence. By Lord Krishna's causeless mercy, Lord Brahma personally experienced that all existence, being the potency of God, is non-different from him. So this is Brahmaji's personal experience and purification time also. Ajanatam tvad padvimam anatmanya atmatmana bhasi vitatya mayam srishta vivaham jagato vidhana ivatvam esho anta ivatrinetraha. To persons ignorant of your actual transcendental position, you appear as part of the material world, manifesting yourself by the expansion of your inconceivable energy. Thus, for the creation of the universe, you appear as me, Brahma. For its maintenance, you appear as yourself, Vishnu. And for its annihilation, you appear as Lord Trinetra, Shiva. Although the impersonal Mayavadi philosophers think that the demigods are illusory, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu are stated here to be expansions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and are thus real. So nothing is illusory. It's just our tendency to enjoy this material world is illusion, nothing else. Indeed, they are the extraordinary, powerful controllers of the universe. Ultimate truth is a supreme and beautiful person, and thus, throughout the creation of God, we'll always find the personal touch. Sureshu Vrisheshvu Ishu Tatheva Nirishvapi Tiryakshu Yadaswapi Tejanasya Janmasatam Durmad Nigrahaya Prabhu Vidhata Sad Anugrihaya Cha. O Lord, O Supreme Creator and Master, you have no material birth, yet to defeat the false pride of the faithless demons and show mercy to your saintly devotees. You take birth among the demigods, sages, human beings, animals, and even the aquatics. Among the demigods, Lord Krishna appears in such forms as Vamandeva, among the sages as Parashuram, among human beings as Lord Krishna himself, and as Lord Ramchandra, and among animals as a boar incarnation. Lord Krishna appears among the aquatics as Matsya, the gigantic fish. Indeed, the plenary expansions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are innumerable, as the Lord relentlessly comes down within the universes to smash the false pride of the atheists and to show mercy to the saintly devotees. Paritrana sadhunam vinashaya chatushka. So he can come in any form, any way, any time to do these two activities. In another sense, the Lord never appears since he exists eternally. His appearance is like that of the sun, which is always present in the sky, but which periodically appears to our vision. So he's always there, but he manifests and unmanifests. Koveti bhuman bhagwan paratman yogeshwaro tir bhavat strilokyam kva va katham va kati va kadeti vistaryam kridasi yogamaya. O Supreme Great One, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Super Soul, Master of all mystic power, your pastimes are taking place continuously in these three worlds. But who can estimate where, how, and when you are employing your spiritual energy and performing these innumerable pastimes? No one can understand the mystery of how your spiritual energy works. Brahma previously stated that Lord Krishna incarnates among the demigods, human beings, animals, fish, and so on. This does not mean, however, that the Lord is degraded by his incarnations. He is always transcendental. He is always spiritual. As Brahma clarifies here, no conditioned soul can understand the transcendental nature of the Lord's activities, which he enacts through his spiritual potency. Or the Lord is Bhuman, the supremely great one. He is still Bhagavan, the supremely beautiful personality exhibiting pastimes of love in his own abode. At the same time, he is Paramatma, the all-pervading super soul, who witnesses and sanctions all the activities of conditioned souls. The Lord's multiple identity is explained by the word Yogeshwara. The absolute truth is a master of all mystic potencies. And although he is one and supreme, he manifests his greatness and opulence in many different ways. So this is how great he is. We cannot understand how great he is. Such elevated spiritual matters can hardly be understood by foolish persons, primitively identifying themselves with the insignificant material body. These conditioned souls, such as atheistic scientists, consider their own puffed up intelligence supreme. Gullibly placing their firm faith in material illusion, they are captured by the modes of nature and driven far away from knowledge of God. So this is what happens to them. But devotees, they just pray to the Lord, and as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I give them the understanding by which they come to me. So that is what we want. We just want to pray, we want to serve him. We don't know how great he is, but we just want to serve him. And then he can give us understanding to the level we are ready to understand. That's all. Nobody can understand him completely. Nobody. So I guess I'll stop here because I have another meeting in a while. So see anybody has any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, during in the last chapter, we found that Brahmaji was he was illusioned or he was confused whether Lord Krishna was the supreme personality of Godhead, and that's why he has stolen the calves and the cowherd boys. So why is it so? Because Brahmaji is known for his buddhi, for his intellect, but then why he has done that mistake?
It was Krishna's Maya acted on him. Because when he saw Krishna killed Aghasur, and after killing Aghasur, he's having lunch with his friends on the banks of Yamuna. And while he was having lunch, his friends, now cowherd boyfriends, they don't follow any rules or regulations when it comes to Krishna or playing with Krishna. So they were feeding Krishna with their own hand. They were tasting something, whatever their mothers packed, and if they liked it very nicely, they took half of it out from their mouth and they put it in Krishna's mouth. Krishna was eating with his left hand. Not according to Vedic scriptures, we should do that. And so he got confused. Who is this? They say he is God, but he is not acting, he is not doing anything like God does. So he cannot be God. So he said, let me test him. So that testing went a little far, too far actually.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Just like in Ramayana also, Indra's son, Jayant, remember he came as crow. Who is this? How can he be God? How can Ram be God? And Ram showed him he is God.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we'll stop
Thank you.
here. You all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.